3 years of summer openings at the weekends. There's never, ever been puddles of water here. The girls have put on an owl day, all about owl, for owl awareness. They're about to fly an owl. Owls have got pretty unwaterproof feathers. Yep, you can guarantee it. A pair of smooth snakes are both in blue. The female just kind of look, she does look plump, I've got to say. I'd like to say she's gravid, but who knows. But neither of them ate yesterday outside. It's just been raining all night, raining all day, and I've had a disaster with that outdoor enclosure. The bottom actually cracked on it because of the way I'd sat it on 2 logs, thinking it's not full of water, it will hold out, but no, it didn't. So I've removed them, I've stripped down the enclosure. That's got to have a new bottom put in it. They're back in their indoor little vivarium, and to be honest, because it's turned into November for the last couple of weeks, they're actually quite pleased. Sorry about the flickering, I forgot to swap the settings on the phone. Picking up the LED lights in there. But they're actually basking under an incandescent light, warming their little bones up, bless them. So when I say indoors, we're kind of only just indoors. 14 degrees. Hasn't stopped raining all day. One of the, no, I think two, maybe one of the Vietnamese blue beauties are outside when all of the European and British stuff has got way more sense. Irony. All looking a bit miserable in the rain. No butterflies today. But as it runs out in the corner here, we're actually going to put a compost heap in here. The gardeners are on that now, not because they want that compost or we can't get any anywhere else, because against this stone wall in this sunny spot, an open compost heap like that's going to have some logs around it so it looks nice. But that's going to be a hive of activity for things like invertebrates of all kinds, and that's going to give a lot of food for the smooth newts, great crested newts and common toads that we find here on a regular basis. These are wild and free, and hopefully, I'd like to think if my slowworms, that'd look nice, slowworms produce many young at all in the next couple of years, I'm going to introduce a few into the compost heap when it's settled, see if we can get a little population going in here. I think for future plans, this orchard area would look lovely if it had a wild meadow strip through the middle, as in kind of wildflower meadow or wildflower border, and then a bit of a wildflower meadow amongst here with pathways cut through it. That would be a lovely wildlife haven. That'd look beautiful for our guests. And then of course the outdoor vivaria from there all the way down here. Old scaffold boards that today we're going to be transformed into a beautiful top here, and then a beading around that with a mesh on top. But of course Dennis isn't going to work with his power tools in a day that's raining all day long, so lots more signage to come. It shows actually how resilient the glass lizards are, because they've gone under, you can't see them, but they were poking out of their sheltered area. I can't show you. No, they've both gone, just about gone in, but they do come out. They don't have a voracious appetite though in this cool weather. They do come out and explore. But all in all, if nothing else, this rubbish weather has certainly benefited the plants I've put in here. Nothing much has wilted. Not even the lady's mantle in the grass snake enclosure. This time next year, I won't be a millionaire, but this is going to look great. What difference a day makes. Sunbathing vulture, preening in the sunshine, very different from yesterday. Rain, rain, rain. I'm eating a cookie, so I can't speak proper. Something I hate doing, I used to do for a living a little bit, is treating wasp nests. I don't like a wasp, and a wasp is a very important part of our ecosystem. So what's the point in wasps? The point in wasps is they feed their young meat. Generally that meat is insects like flies and caterpillars. They are the gardener's and the farmer's friend, because they literally eat hundreds of tons of meat off the countryside. Other insects, often pests. Unfortunately, when you've got a nest right near your work or your house, here at the Falconry Centre, they go in our pockets to eat the actual meat that we have in our pockets to feed our birds, and the staff put their hands in their pockets to get a reward out for the birds and get stung. They go to our birds and they try and, well, they steal the meat from between our birds' feet in the aviaries. The birds accidentally stand on them and the wasps sting them in the face. They are just a nuisance. These have been here now for weeks, and the girls have really started moaning at me. I've been ignoring them, but I have actually had to put insecticide down. I was about to get stung in the face. And that'll be the end of that nest, which is a shame. There's another nest that the girls don't know about further away. I'll leave that unless they're a problem. But the fate of many a wasp nest, which I find actually quite a shame. It's just annoying that they do cause conflict and a little bit of pain when they wing you on the finger. Welcome back to the vlog. The sun is out. Yesterday, another day of drizzle all day long. It looks so much better. Let's go and see if any of the reptiles are out. It's windy again. Let's go and see what Annie's up to. I'll turn you round. The reptiles are up to nothing because the sun is not on them yet. So Dennis was up yesterday. He's put finished the roofing area, the actual overhangs, which are looking great. And we're going to turn this into wire mesh rather than, I don't know, cloth mesh if you like. This is temporary to keep the birds out, but we need a benefit. It's going to finish this off all properly to make it something that obviously rats and weasels can't get into as well. And the idea being, this folds back for the weekend openings, and then the rest of the time it's down to keep those buzzards out, which quite happily come in here and eat our snakes and lizards. Oh look, there's someone is out. Have a look at this. How hard can it be? There's a glass lizard there, just catching some rays just as the sun comes up. But look at the condensation from yesterday's rain. Perhaps we'll have a look back here later on, because it is going to be sunny today. So over here's my second wasp nest, which is a little way from the girls and the birds of prey in the other half of the centre. Unfortunately, now the sun's out and they're active again, you can see how busy this is. I really didn't want to have to kill these guys off. But unfortunately, they are already all over our birds' food. And it's just going to be another day or three before one of the staff gets stung, which, you know, they can survive, but they don't really enjoy. Or one of our birds gets stung, which causes their faces and their eyes to swell up terribly. These guys have got a lot of making up to do this year because it has been so cold and wet. They've not had that much activity. So now they're out there looking for meat, and that is caterpillars or flies, or the meat from our birds or out of our pockets that we reward our birds with, as already mentioned. So yeah, I'm really gutted, but unfortunately, like many a wasp nest near human habitation, even I might have to kill these guys off. I really don't like doing that. You and I now are, well, my face is 3 feet from that hole. You can see the activity levels here. Have I got stung? No, I haven't. I'm not threatening them. So that's what annoys me. They're not out to get you, really. Back to normal. Back to what you'd expect in August. Not grey and soaking wet. The insects are back out. The butterflies are active. And he's in here clearing out, looking after the mammals and other animals. Any slow worms out? Not that we can see. The bull snake's getting ready to shed his skin down there. It's all looking good in here, and already There's a blue beauty snake up there. In fact, there's several blue beauty snakes up there, all catching the early morning sunshine. That one's failing miserably, but almost there. Let's go and see what Annie's doing. Hello Annie, we've come to see you on the vlog. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm alright. Just trying to get these naughty ones out of the box.
Oh, look how cute that is.
So
Aren't they lovely?
cute.
How are they doing? They're right,
Yeah,
looking like they've got a
all
smorgasbord down there. Wow.
There's about 5 little ones in there.
Is
Super
there? Are there any
cute
brown
ones.
or black ones, Annie? Or are they all fancy colour ones that I don't want?
There is, yeah, no, there's about 4 fancy ones, but there is a brown one.
Oh, that's a
but
keeper.
they're only so
yeah,
big,
yeah. Oh,
tiny.
look at the little guy
Where
there.
are you going?
Look at that. So Annie's the girl you see on the Roxy Diaries. Annie's the main Roxon rat wrangler. Let's have a little look further round. I'll be back in a minute, Annie. So Annie's a godsend, just like all of our staff and volunteers. Absolute godsend. Looking after all zoo collections of any kind, any Falconry centres rely heavily on volunteers that are absolutely passionate. You can't do it all yourself, for sure. And you know what? Even the biggest zoos in the world, if all the people that looked after the animals had to be paid financially, they couldn't exist. Smooth snake there, getting ready to shed its skin. One already has, look. So these lights are off. So I only put the lights on now in here at the weekends for our visitors, because there's enough light in here for the plant life to grow and the animals. And what happens is, these young great crested newts that we bred here, what happens is, wee, they just get covered in algae as the week goes on with the unnecessary extra lighting. Some of these little elvers now are really chucking on the size. Oh, we can't see because there's no lights on in there. Is Norma out, do you think? That's not Norma. No, she's not out. She's been really active, eating lots of food. She didn't touch her food for 2 days because although it's August, it was so cold, we've had to put her heat mat back on. Well, they just go dormant. Crazy times to be a hedgehog in the UK. In other news, lovely girl, another Becky, a different Becky from the tarantula Becky. She sent me some woodlice. Now, to you and I, a woodlouse is a woodlouse, but weirdly, for many of you watching this, woodlice have become by far the micro critter to keep. There are hundreds of species / colour varieties, and people collect them all over the world. We call them woodlice. They use their technical term, of course, isopods. But fascinating. All the colours people keep and cultivate. And obviously you can't get much of a more micro pet that you can see and enjoy than something the size of a woodlouse. So those guys, absolutely beautiful. We put them in and we'll just let them see if they multiply and get on with things. And they're also great, along with our springtails in some of our enclosures, as clean-up crew. They eat the detritus and even the droppings of other animals and tidy up. And of course, their poo then becomes fertiliser for the plants in those naturalistic enclosures. So woodlice and springtails are actually useful members of the team. Now, whilst Annie's busy looking after furry animals, Ursula and Emily, Ryan, Olga are looking after our experienced day guests over here. So they're just starting the day with an experienced day group. Ursula's going to give those guys a tour around, tell them about what we do here, about the different species of birds, and then they'll go out flying the birds themselves. And you can't get better conservation-minding sort of a way of doing things and letting people see these birds fly wild and free whilst returning to their glove for a little tidbit of food now and again. It really, really makes people aware of not only birds of prey, but the natural world on a whole. Wurzel's back up in the air. He bruised his wingtip with his wrist, but almost like his elbow. So he bruised that recently. Had a few weeks off. He's now unfit, but he's back up in the air. The windier the weather, the better for him. He's a lovely boy, isn't he? Now, many of my friends and acquaintances are really getting ready for the falconry season. You know, the end of September, certainly those birds will be out in the field. Zeus here. Let's check in on him. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at that talon that the sheath that he pulled off last year, because it's really grown back well. I'm going to flip you around. Let's have a look. So here he is. He's my baby. He's molting well now, and he's certainly going to be behind behind many other falconers birds when it comes to going out into the field. He's probably going to be going out more like the end of October, I'd say. Partly really, or actually completely due to my life at the moment and busyness. So let's have a look. Sorry, Zeus, we'll just have a look. You can really see. Look at that. Remember, that one's sharp. Remember, this sheath was completely pulled off. There was just a quick with a bone underneath. You can see the end of that still there. But look at that. Absolutely. Well, keep still. Absolutely grown right down. You got the jagged edge where it was broken off. But that talon is going to grow down, and then the point will resharpen. So I'm really pleased that he's grown that back. Look at the feet on this. I mean, come on. A golden eagle certainly has some boots on it, making it one of the world's top avian predators, bar none. Certainly right up there with some of those other big eagles like the harpy eagle, Philippine eagle, the crowned eagle, and so on and so forth. But nothing has done so well in the world as the golden eagle in an evolutionary sense, because this guy, they live all around the northern hemisphere, the most widespread species of eagle in the world. Look at that. Look at that. What a handsome boy he is. Finally got the smaller tortoises, a somewhat larger enclosure since we changed the paddock around, which meant they could escape under the fence. So they've now got a bit more room, to say the very least. Meanwhile, Simba is demolishing our fence as a sulcata does, and he's pushing it down. Emily's exercising an American kestrel, probably one of the smallest birds here. Let me show you. Uh-oh. So this week I've got a one-to-one falconry course with a lovely guy called Richard. And down there, the other side of the Archie's field, is an old cruck house built to original design of yesteryear. And he told me he was one of the team that built that. So it was built traditionally, and Richard's job was to climb up some of the big trees over there and cut down the big branches that make the apexes, or the crooks, I guess. So I'm going to see if we can meet him over there. He's not seen it since the 90s. How amazing is that? But on that subject, falconry courses, they're a thing of the past. They're not even on our website here at Icarus Falconry anymore. And that's because people just don't want to pay for knowledge. YouTube, Facebook, not even books anymore. People don't want to buy a book to learn about things. They seem to just want to be able to do it on social media. That's why I run the YouTube channel, to try and point people in the right directions for falconry and learning, because so much of it is parrot fashion learning from people that actually haven't got a clue in the first place. But there are still occasionally people that contact me and say, Dave, would you run a proper falconry course and teach me the basics of what I'll need to know to get me started in the world of falconry? So that's what we're doing this week, a one-to-one. But let's go over there with Richard in a minute and see that house briefly. So here he is. This is Richard, who did you actually cut down some of these trees up here? So some of these big trees actually built inside this house, which we're going to go and have a look at in a minute. But how long since you've been here?
93.
Yeah, so we were just saying, it's fallen to bits gradually, but our houses, if we'd have left them since the early 90s, they'd be in a worse state of repair than what this is, you know. But it almost does need a revisit from you guys, doesn't it, to put it straight? Do you know what I mean?
Back into it, but he does a lot of different stuff now. He does like Celtic stuff.
So who's that then?
He's the guy.
So on that board, that sort of. So is he like the team?
Yeah,
he
was the one who came up with the idea. Yeah.
I mean, that's phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Emily, our Falconry Icarus, she really wants Richard to get his tools out and get building and tidy it up a bit, so she can live there without anybody knowing, which would suit me because she'd be on site all the time. You decide. I'm just going to come in with you.
Got all the old Bellamy bottles and stuff.
It's crazy because it's probably not much left different other than disrepute than when.
Like walking back in. Look at that. It's like walking into the 17th century.
That is amazing, isn't it? You can't believe it was built by your hands in our era of life, can you?
Yeah, I mean, it was, like I say, it was the holding me guard that did it, you know.
So these crooks or these apexes, then you've actually cut from the trees and.
Yeah, they were all put out of the trees over that.
And you were up them trees.
There,
wow.
Went up the trees and all this stuff. So all the big frame was from that woodland at the back. And the other bits, I can't remember what we did with these. The actual, well, that would have been, I don't know where they doored that, but all this is wattle and daub. Wow. In there.
So that's still there, isn't it?
It's just the wattle and daub with mud, you know, mixed in.
So yeah, traditional, like chopped straw and horse poo or whatever it was and all
that. Bedroom. I can't believe they've left it like this. It's like, you know.
As it was, isn't it? Yeah. If this was, we're in the middle, somewhere in the middle of Scotland, and you stumbled on this in a really remote part, you'd think this was a house that somehow has stood the test of time. From like, when would it be? Like the 1500s? When was this style
this was supposed to be, but we based it on like the 17th century.
Fair enough.
So
Yeah. But it shows you can make a house out of what's on the literally off the land, haven't you? You've made a house that stood here since the late 80s.
Well,
with no. Early 90s, but with no TLC.
There's been no maintenance on it.
No maintenance. So we can see that, can't we, from the outside?
But doing it because I left, so I don't know when they actually stopped using it as a living history. You know, so yeah.
But we still employ this house to fly our barn owls out of the upstairs window for photography sessions. So yeah, let's go and have a look. Let's go and have a look. So where's the ladder gone? I've lost the plot. Oh yeah, hang on, somewhere. Hold on, turn you off. So bear in mind, Emily weighs half what we weigh.
This ladder is sound. There's nothing wrong with it.
I mean, this is. Why do we have to have so much claptrap in our lives and massive houses and all mod cons? In a way, you look at this and it's like any couple could afford to build this if we didn't have building regs and you got a bit of that, you know.
You probably put it up quite quickly.
And look at those barn owl pellets.
Yeah.
Wow, so wild barn owls have been in here. I've found a hornet's nesting in here before. We've had swallows nesting in here. There's the bed. It doesn't look as comfortable as it used to. But again, it's simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
A frame with ropes across, a bit of suspension and mattress
and
thing
of course, on there. You'd leave your fire going all night.
Yeah, and
get that small wet and the heat would come up and you'd be warm, you know.
That's amazing, isn't it, mate? I mean, it's just bloody sticks and mud, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you've got a house.
I mean, even this, look how well they fared.
Yeah, because I mean, it doesn't matter wood. If you keep that wood dry, it will last forever, won't it? Unless something nibbles away at it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel a bit
chewed on.
There, you know.
So there's the view from your window. Look at that, the window. Oh, it's just, and these huge beams, but they're not huge as the trees go, are they? No. They're not. It's not that huge. You know what I mean? They're, what, 6 inch, 7, 8 inch diameter, but. I mean, they're not hard to find in a tree, are they? If you've got the permission to chop trees and it's your bit of woodland or something.
Yeah, I mean, I think he got permission from.
Of course, yeah.
Wood, you know, but.
Whoa.
Yeah, I won't go too far.
No. I think maybe a bit of woodworm's got the better of it in some places. Who knows? But certainly great to see barn owls are using it, if nothing else. But.
Big old pellets.
They are big old pellets because there's so many ruddy voles around on the estate some years. They have a feast of barn owls, as do our trained ones. We've even got a storeroom, lot bricks there to raise it off the floor. It's a substantial size store. That's the third bedroom in most new houses.
Oh, yeah, it would be. Yeah.
Maybe it was like cement. Yeah. I suppose you would have. I suppose thinking of old ruins, a chimney would probably be made of stone, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because often you see an old chimney standing and the rest of the rooms are gone and it's just a chimney. Because it would have been like for cooking and everything, wouldn't it? Yeah, yeah. Modern plastic.
Yeah, well.
But look at that. So, with Richard in the frame, you're looking at a bit of history there. History of Northamptonshire. Finally, some August sunshine. The mud turtle and the little terrapin there. Little Mississippi map turtle. Enjoying the sun, as they should be at this time of year.
Where are you then? What's that noise? What's that noise? Hello, 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 hello. What are you doing? Look, Wagger. Look at all that fluff. Hey, what are you doing? I'm coming to see ya. I'm coming. Yeah, sort you out. Silly. Enjoying that? Is it nice? Oh yeah, that'll do your teeth good. Oh, you got it all. Well done. That nice? Yeah.
Another one.
That's it, I'm out.
That's all right. So what I do at this point is I clean his beak, but you just try not to get bitten.
Okay.
So just wipe the end off his beak. Go on, just go for it. Wipe. No, that's it. Quicker. That's it. Not above his head.
No, oh.
Come up from below. That's it. Just grab his beak now. Go. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That just. Now look at his hair now. Look at his hair. Look at his feathers. They've gone down. Partly the mower, partly because you've just given a signal the food's all gone. So by cleaning his beak, that's always been a signal there's no more food out here, and it really psychologically
what do
chills.
the feathers go like? It's like a mantling type.
Yeah,
thing
he's
on
just
head.
all about being aggressive
and
around
the
food.
around the corner.
Right.
But when all the hackers are sort of, give me the food, I'm in charge. Because these things in the wild congregate en masse at the salmon run and the bears are feeding.
Yeah.
And they're like vultures, they push and shove each other to get the scraps. And
Okay.
a lot of body language. He's an imprint, he thinks he's a human, or we're bald eagles.
Yeah.
He does all that to us.
Yes, yeah.
I think. So thanks to my dad for cleaning out the wildlife pond. Hopefully some of the inhabitants have stayed in there, although it's obviously a lot clearer. But it did need doing, unfortunately, because of these trees. Nice to see one of our great crested newts here thriving in the pond. I hope you've enjoyed this week's vlog. Now, the book I've been reading this week is something I found in like an antique shop kind of thing. All about the River Nen and its whole route from source to sea. Fascinating. I've learnt so much just about... I've grown up around the Nen and in Northamptonshire. I've learnt so much history about actually where I grew up, which is amazing. It was written in '97. Already amazing to see the changes that have happened since that book was written. I hope you've enjoyed meeting Richard and a bit of local history here, which really combines with that little history journey I've been on this week with my book reading. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and check out the playlist, see what else you might like on there. See you next time.